Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, the Kakadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto his truth, and also to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. I'd like to say, shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the title of today's lesson is, Woe to them that devise iniquity. So I'd like to say, shalom to all our listeners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I about woe to them that what divides iniquity. And who is that? The so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now about he's constantly what? Plotting each and every day, constantly what? Trying to devise his evil schemes, his evil plan, his evil agenda. We know in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, it said that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So we seeing that, he's getting ready to devise his plan. What is that plan? The New World Order. You know what I'm saying? Also, we seeing that across America, these power grids are being attacked. First it started in North Carolina, and it was one in Washington State, and also in Oregon, and now recent is one in Baltimore, Maryland. So I have a little news clip here, and we'll read it off, and then I have another video. Once get that one video out of the way, then we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified. So let's read this a little bit of this news clipping, CBS News. And it reads that 2 suspects arrested for conspiring to attack Baltimore power grid, officials say. So let's read a little bit more. It says authorities have arrested and charged 2 suspects in connection with an alleged plot to attack the power grid in Baltimore, Maryland. Federal investigators and local officials announced on Monday. So this happened Monday. So we're seeing that they're constantly trying to attack the infrastructure. That means that your light, your water, your energy, your internet, they're trying to make this place a third world country to put you in a chokehold, to devise that an evil scheme, that evil plan, which in fact is this new world order, this global reset. See, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. Now everybody that while you are sleeping, the devil is constantly is getting busy. So that everybody seeing they trying to attack your power grid. So we're seeing that, that things are coming to life left and right. We're seeing that they are getting ready to bring forth their plans. The devil's getting ready to try to fill his belly. And everybody, hey, he knowing that his time is short. So we're seeing that all these different things are coming up, all across America. And now about things are going to escalate. And also, the Lord is breaking the staff of the bread, which in fact your necessity, your way of life is getting ready to change. Your water, your energy, which in fact is your life. Medical supply, your shelter, your home. All these things are getting ready to be taken away from you. They're getting ready to try to force you in a chokehold to make you submit or consent to that MOTB, which in fact is the mark of the beast. And not about so we seeing that there were 2 suspects. I think it was a guy from Florida and it was a woman from Maryland. It was in collaboration together. But see, we still are not ignorant of Satan's device. We knowing exactly what they're trying to do. This is what you call order out of chaos. They bring the problem, then they have a solution. That solution is this digital society, to try to make everything, digital, programmable, and also injectable. So we have a little bit more on this news clip, and we'll start the video so you can get a little bit more edification on it. Let's start this news clip so you can get a little bit more info.
The FBI says the 2 suspects were fueled by extremist ideology to, quote, completely destroy Baltimore and inflict maximum damage. Court documents allege Sarah Clendaniel of Maryland met Brandon Russell of Florida while in federal prison. Investigators Monday showed a photo of Clendaniel in a skull mask, often used as a symbol of white supremacy. Federal investigators alleged the 2 planned simultaneous attacks on 5 Maryland substations, similar to recent successful attacks on the grid in Oregon, Washington State, and North Carolina. Law enforcement records allege Russell started a local chapter of a neo-Nazi group called Atomwaffen. The group promotes extremist ideology through training videos that seek to start race wars and sow chaos. Even before these arrests, a recent FBI intelligence report reviewed by CBS News confirms nearly 24 crimes related to the power grid, including arson, shootings, as well as tampering with equipment. According to that FBI report, criminal coordination and a motive remain unknown.
So let's start today's lesson. So we seeing that all this is coming from this left hand energy coming from what the left hand side. So he's trying to do what, devise his evil schemes, his evil plan, because what, the power is in his hand. Who hands? The wicked. And when you read about in Job chapter 9 and verse 24. So let's start today's lesson, and I hope that you get edified by today's lesson. We'll start at Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads that, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And not about the power of who hand? The wicked, which in fact is what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So we had those two suspects, which in fact was a male Edomite and also a female Edomite, which in fact, you know what I'm saying, hey, we knowing that, you know, hey, they constantly devising it, constantly trying to bring forth their evil agenda, you know what I'm saying? And out about it, hey, we seeing that you know, the workers of iniquity constantly are working, you know what I'm saying, constantly in secret, you know what I'm saying, constantly what? Plotting against the just each and every day, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, they will not be able to what? To perform their enterprise. So now let's get another, let's go here to, one moment, let's go to, Psalm, just a quick lesson through the spirit, Psalm chapter 37, one moment. Let's go to Psalm chapter 37, one moment. One moment. Psalm chapter 37, and we'll start up at verse 12. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 12. And it reads that, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnashes upon him with his teeth. And out about we knowing that with his what? With his might, with his agenda, also with his military might. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, that we seeing that we're getting very close to this time of trouble, which in fact is what? Is Jacob trouble. So they're getting ready to try to knock out this what? Infrastructure. And out about, you know, so, you know, your energy, your water, your life, also your food, you know what I'm saying? So famine is coming in the land. So they engineered it from the what? The left hand side. Also, we knowing that, you know, they call this what? This pandemic, this sea, you know what? That see what, you know what I'm saying, and out about it, you know, we knowing that they constantly working their what, their evil what devices, their evil plan, their evil agenda, because what, the power is in their hand, and out about it, they constantly plotting against the just. And who is the just? The true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh, what, the house of David. And out about we seeing it happening right before our eyes, and out about order out of chaos. You know, all hell is getting ready to break loose. So let's read that again. The wicked plotters against the just and gnashes upon him with his teeth, which in fact his military might, also his devices, also his what, his evil agendas, also his what, unrighteous decrees. Not about, hey, we're here, it's at the door. So that about we knowing that they're getting ready to come down with great wrath. But the Lord is what? He's getting ready what, to lift up a standard against this what, this enemy, the so-called white man, which in fact is the devil that the Bible speaks, and also the heathen nation, and also the 2/3. You know what I'm saying? They're getting ready to get. So we're right upon judgment. So let's start back up. At verse 13, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. Verse 14, the wicked had drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Who's in upright conversation? That those are the righteous, the elect. And not about we constantly want to do the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. And not about this is not your rest. Not about this place is what totally what polluted. Wickedness, you know what I'm saying, has exceedingly polluted the entire world, and not about, you know, it's only going to escalate. And not about, you know, we seeing that, you know, hey, you know, World War III has kicked off. We seeing a lot of things that happen, earthquakes in diverse places. We seeing a lot of strange weather patterns. And not about we seeing that, hey, you know, hey, the workers of iniquity, they're constantly working. That's why we say woe to them that devise iniquity. You know what I mean? Destruction to them. And not about that is the what, the so-called white man. And not about he constantly, you know, he's busy. You know what I'm saying? And not about, but the Lord is getting ready to cut him off forever. So let's start back up. Let's read that again. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 14 said, the wicked has drawn out sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. The poor and needy is the what, the righteous, the elect, and to slay such as be in upright conversation. You know, and out about the elect. Verse 15, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Verse 16, a little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. Verse 17, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. So You know what I'm saying? They only have a short time. And out about, you know what I'm saying? And out about the Lord said he will let until he be taken out the way. It's cause what? The power's in his hand. And out about we're in a transition of power. We seeing all these things that are going on around the world. We knowing that they've been engineered from the left hand side, but through the what? The spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord is what is in perfect control. And out about, hey man, we constantly seeing that the end is being manifested right before our eyes, but a lot of people who are still playing game, still are not considered. Hey, man, we're here. So let's go to Second Thessalonians, one moment. Second Thessalonians, one moment. Salakia. Second Thessalonians, I think it's around verse, Second Thessalonians chapter 2, and I think it's around verse 7, what I want. And it reads, said, the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. Let's read that again. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity do already work, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Only he who now letteth will let. And who is he? The Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. The power is in his hand until he be taken out the way. And he only have a short time. That's why he's getting ready to come down with great wrath, you know what I'm saying, to bring forth this digital society whereby it will be digital, programmable, and also injectable, will not be able to buy or sell, you know what I'm saying. So he's trying to take your necessities away from you, you know what I'm saying, to force you in a chokehold, to make you to consent and also submit to that the charagma, and not about which in fact is the MOTB, which in fact is what the RFD microchip. Woe to them that devise iniquity. So now, let's read verse 9, and it reads that even him who coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonder. And not about who is coming after the workings of Satan. That is the physical counterpart of Satan, which in fact, once again, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And not about, but the Lord is getting ready to come, you know what I'm saying, and take him out of rulership. So we in these times, that's why a lot of things are going on. So they had once again, you know, in Washington State, you know, they had a power attack. A power grid attack there. You know what I'm saying? In Oregon, also in North Carolina, now in Baltimore, Maryland. Not about, you know, two suspects, a man and a woman, which in fact they were Edomite, you know what I'm saying, the wicked. And not about, they constantly, you know what I'm saying, making these different calamities and catastrophes go on around the world. And that about, you know, it's already was rumors that they used that hawk weather machine, but that about we know that this all is happening through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. And that about, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, they walk, a lot of people walking in great pride. And the Lord said, great misery shall befall you. You know what I'm saying? Great calamities, great catastrophe. We see them happening all around, and things are getting ready to get worse and worse. There's nothing going back the same. So now let's go to Job chapter 5. Just a quick lesson through the spirit. Job chapter 5. One moment. Job chapter 5 and verse, I think it's verse 12 what I'm looking for. One moment. Job chapter 5 and verse 12. Let's highlight this. Job chapter 5 and verse 12. And it reads that he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So that about the Lord disappointed the devices of the crafty, which in fact is the wicked, the so-called white man. So you see what happened in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? They tried to be in collaboration to attack the power grid, to take out the power, to start all sorts of wickedness, all sorts of sedition among men. That's what they want to do. Bring that order out of chaos. You know what I'm saying? Start a civil war. You know what I'm saying? Civil unrest. You know what I'm saying? Insurrection. That's what the white man want to do. So that about it, he already he caused the problem and he has the solution. But who is the problem? He is the problem. And the Lord is getting ready to cut off a long disease. And that about we cannot wait. We're ready for this nightmare to be over. So let's start back up. Let's read that again. Job chapter 5 and verse 12. And it reads that he disappoints the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And that about it. So they're in for a rude awakening. So that about it, you see that in Baltimore, Maryland, they got what? They got caught. And not about, but we still are not ignorant of what? Of Satan's device. And not about, we are here. It is at the door. And about, we must not always must be watching, always be praying, and not about, and stay sober, redeem the time wise, walk circumspect. Don't get caught up in these what? Evil devices, these evil plans, these snares. And not about, if you do get caught up in it, you will be what? Totally destroyed. And not about, we knowing that, hey, this got the what? The new world order written all over. And not about, they trying to make this this country a third world country, and out about we knowing that this place is going to be totally destroyed with what? That fervent heat that only come from what? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and out about the Lord is in perfect control. No matter what the so-called white man do, he can't override Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and out about he's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So now let's go to our last and final strip. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. We'll close out here. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. One moment. And it reads, it said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices. Let's read that again. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his device. And not about Satan will not get advantage. What the physical counterpart of Satan is who? The so-called white man will not get advantage of who? The elect. You know what I'm saying? The true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Because we always what? Watching, praying, and not about we have a spirit of what? A discernment. And not about, the Lord is constantly, you know what I'm saying, has opened our eyes, you know what I'm saying, to see what's going on. And not about he only revealed his secrets to his servant, the prophets. And not about the one that stand loyal to him, the one that fear him. And not about we seeing it happening right before our eyes, these evil devices, these evil agendas, his unrighteous decrees. Not about he's trying to cause all sorts of mayhem and confusion. This is the land of confusion. And not about that's why the Lord got to come and set up that righteous order forever and forever. And hey, man, we are here, man. I'm telling you, man. Man, we seeing that this red devil is constantly being busy each and every day. That's why we're not ignorant of Satan's device. And not about, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, he knowing that his time is running out. You know what I'm saying? And not about, hey, his time is up. And not about, it is payday. The Lord said, I will repay. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So we'll look at the video one more time, then we'll close out. Let's look at that video one more time for edification purpose. Let's go back to it.
The FBI says the two suspects were fueled by extremist ideology to, quote, completely destroy Baltimore and inflict maximum damage. Court documents allege Sarah Clendaniel of Maryland met Brandon Russell of Florida while in federal prison. Investigators Monday showed a photo of Clendaniel in a skull mask, often used as a symbol of white supremacy. Federal investigators alleged the two planned simultaneous attacks on 5 Maryland substations, similar to recent successful attacks on the grid in Oregon, Washington State, and North Carolina. Law enforcement records allege Russell started a local chapter of a neo-Nazi group called Atomwaffen. The group promotes extremist ideology through training videos that seeks to start race wars and sow chaos. Even before these arrests, a recent FBI intelligence report reviewed by CBS News confirms nearly 24 crimes related to the power grid, including arson, shootings, as well as tampering with equipment. According to that FBI report, criminal coordination and a motive remain unknown.
So you see that they're constantly trying to bring forth chaos, and that about we knowing that hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. We seeing that they were trying to call an uprising, civil unrest. You know what I'm saying? A civil war. You know what I'm saying? They want to bring that because that about they trying to plot against it just each and every day. Hey, once again, let's read this again. Let Satan should get an advantage of us. We are not ignorant of Satan's device. So that about hey, we must be always watching and praying and being sober because the devil is getting ready to get busy. But that about through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, he will not be able to perform his evil devices, his evil plan, his evil agenda, which in fact is the new world order. Also the RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast. It will not happen. And that about we cannot wait. So the title of today's lesson once again is Woe to them that devise iniquity. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rikakadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.